Good evening and welcome to the news. I'm Dinesh Rentley. Here are the top stories of the day. Prime Minister Narendra Modi virtually addresses natural farming conclave in Gujarat. DGP assures action against the recent assault incident in Laban. Chess Olympiad torch relay gets a grand reception in Shillong. And Eid-ul-Azha is being celebrated with religious fervour across the country. The news in detail. Prime Minister Narendra Modi said our villagers have shown that villagers can not only bring change but also lead the change. Addressing a natural farming conclave held at Surat in Gujarat through video conferencing today, he said that India has been an agriculture-based country by nature and culture. He said that our life, health and our society is the basis of our agriculture system. Therefore, the progress of farmers and agriculture is necessary for the progress of our country. He also congratulated the farmers for adopting the natural farming and sarpanchs of the villages for taking the lead in this direction. Taking the assault incident in Laban on July 8 evening seriously, DGP L.R. Bishnoi said efforts are on to arrest the culprits. One person identified as Anupam De was injured around 4 p.m. near Batti Bazar, Laban, when a gang of miscreants who came in vehicles assaulted him and fled. Bishnoi told reporters that the miscreants came in a Maruti car and bikes. The DGP said a meeting was held with traditional heads to ensure that the localities are free from crimes. The DGP met the traditional heads of various localities in Jayau and discussed law and order, drugs and traffic issues.
The vehicle number, they came into one Maruti and few bikes. The vehicle numbers were not immediately noticed. It was sudden attack and within few minutes they escaped. Today we have also meeting with Darbar Shillong and we have also appealed them also to in their respective locality to keep watch on the miscreants. And we from our side we will take tough action once the identity is ascertained. Today 3 localities we have conducted meeting, interaction meeting with 12 number of Darbar Shillongs and it will be followed by other locality. First, we will go to the peoples, appeal them, and today also they were saying that because of such and such reason, youths are resorting to these activities. So we will go deeper into the problems, and definitely with the help of community leaders, we will find some acceptable solution.
The inaugural launch of the Chess Olympiad torch relay took place at the Indira Gandhi Stadium, New Delhi on 19th June by the Prime Minister of India. The official handing over of the torch by Mitra Guha, Grandmaster, took place at the indoor stadium Sai Nehru campus today. The 44th edition of the Chess Olympiad was awarded by the World Chess Federation, or FIDE, to the All India Chess Federation at Mahabalipuram earlier this year. In this edition, FIDE has instituted the first ever Chess Olympiad torch relay to mark the event in India. The torch will travel across the country, covering 75 iconic locations of the country as part of Azadi Ka Amrit Mahotsav celebration. Addressing the gathering, DGP L.R. Bishnoi urged the youth to participate in the event and said that the Northeast has the potential to produce some brilliant chess masters.
Understood that there are nearly 74 chess grandmasters in India. But unfortunately, not a single chess grandmaster from Northwest India. So I sincerely hope that by organizing such event, it will motivate the young sports persons in chess, and soon we can see some of the grandmasters from Meghalaya and other parts of Northwest India.
In context to the statement by BJP MLA from Pinthorum Kra A.L. Hek against his party colleague and Cabinet Minister Sanbor Shulai on the recent incident at Orchid Lake during a meeting to garner support for the NDA presidential candidate Draupadi Murmu, Ambreen Linda said there is a faction within the BJP in the state which is now being discussed in the public domain. She further added that condemning a colleague in the public domain is unacceptable by the leaders of the state.
That whole incident. So what is your take on that as a legislator? See, firstly, there seems to be a faction inside of the BJP which is now being discussed on the public domain. If I was a senior party man of any party and somebody junior to me made a mistake, I surely wouldn't call the press for a different press conference. I would not condemn my colleague in public domain and public space. So to me, this whole episode is now turning out into something different. There seems to be a clear faction in the BJP front.
Sri Lankan President Gotabaya Rajapaksa has announced he will step down after protesters stormed his official residence and set the Prime Minister's house on fire last night. Lakhs of people descended on the capital Colombo, calling for Mr. Rajapaksa to resign after months of protests over economic mismanagement. The protesters, who were demonstrating at the President's house, said it is time to get rid of the President and the Prime Minister and to have a new era for Sri Lanka. Sri Lanka is suffering rampant inflation and the worst economic crisis in 70 years. The country has also run out of foreign currency and has had to impose a ban on sale of petrol and diesel for private vehicles. Flash floods triggered by a cloudburst near the holy cave shrine of Sri Amarnathji in the Himalayas of Kashmir had swept away many pilgrims, killing at least 16. Search operations continue relentlessly amid fears that many yatris are still trapped under the debris. The yatra has been temporarily suspended from Jammu and from both the tracks of Pahalgam and Baltal in view of the rescue operations. Meanwhile, the teams from the National Disaster Response Force, SDRF, Indo-Tibetan Border Police, BSF, CRPF and the Jammu and Kashmir Police too are assisting in the rescue efforts and are working in full coordination in evacuating trapped yatris to safer locations and rescuing people from the debris, and all the injured are being taken care of at the Army's base hospital and SCIMS in Sora, Srinagar. Eid ul-Azha, the festival of sacrifice, is being celebrated with religious fervour and gaiety in various parts of the country today. The Eid namaz was offered in idgahs and mosques. The imams who led the prayers appealed to people to maintain peace and harmony and celebrate the festival in the spirit of brotherhood. Eid prayers congregations were also held in various mosques in the state. And now for the weather. The maximum temperature was 25.5 degrees Celsius with the minimum temperature at 17.9 degrees Celsius. The relative humidity in the morning was 82%, rising to 96% in the evening with rainfall measured at 11.4 millimeters. The forecast tells us light to moderate rain is very likely to occur at a few places. Our news bulletin is also available live on our YouTube channel. In addition to watching on television, viewers may visit the DD News Shillong YouTube channel to tune in to our daily bulletin. And now for a quick recap of today's top stories. Prime Minister Narendra Modi virtually addresses Natural Farming Conclave in Gujarat. DGP assures action against the recent assault incident in Laban. Chess Olympiad torch relay gets a grand reception in Shillong. And Eid ul-Azha is being celebrated with religious fervour across the country. That's all the news we have today. Thank you for watching. Have a good evening.